Helps a Hinder was something I sort of formulated at the end of my second term in Columbia, where I was kind of saying goodbye to the Columbian field. I've just watched over the years how, even in my own personal ministry, how it was pretty easy just to reach into your pocket and pull out some money and give it to a beggar at the door. And just the way we tend to give out help. And so it seemed to me that sometimes, as much as missionary work is all about helping people, I came to the conclusion that helping people cross-culturally is one of the most difficult and dangerous things we ever do, because of the danger of being misunderstood. So I started talking about help too soon, help too late, too much help, too little help, condescending help, and substitute help. And I also would sometimes apply this to the parenting process, which is another place where those same principles, I believe, hold true. So this seemed to be a help to some missionaries, especially to people who were in relief organizations, and their business is giving out help. I remember some of them over in Asia picking up on that and thinking that was a really helpful concept. Well, I think we are a church planting mission. And the whole issue of planting churches, especially building buildings. I can recall a mission in Colombia that was tended to be pretty generous in their gifts to national churches. And they would build a national church in every city of the country, the first one. But one of their missionaries told me one time that after they had built this church and given it to the people, pretty well finished, 10 years later they came back and asked the mission if there'd be any money for paint for our church. And it seemed to me that they perceived that church was still part of the mission. It wasn't really theirs because they had not put any effort into it. And I think that's one thing about helping too much and helping too soon. Condescending help is always a danger for coming from a nation like Canada or the U.S., and they perceive us as being a land of riches and all that. And I think sometimes instead of really trying to give the help that really helps, we find ourselves sort of condescending as the haves giving it to the have-nots. And that is very dangerous because they accept it from us. They take all we can give them. But later on you sense that they resented that because of the way it was done. So, and substitute help. Sometimes the parents raising teenagers think that they just need to add another car to the driveway to keep their teenager out of trouble. But what they need to do is spend time with them and see where they're at. So there's all kinds of stuff that applies to both areas.